I have now crossed the 3 months played threshold, and I am over 500 hours in across multiple characters now, starting with my main, who's a hunter, and then I have my warrior, and I have my druid alt, and all these other characters, and we're playing the Taurens on Saturdays, we're raiding on, Saturday nights, doing all these things. And what really blows my mind is just how good the game is. And I didn't know this because I was too busy with other things over the years. And I'm not going to lie, I definitely let the sort of rumors about World of Warcraft's toxicity and oh, it's not that great of a game, blah, 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 blah. I heard all these things over the years while I was busy in EverQuest 2 and Lord of the Rings Online and Star Wars: Old Republic, and I never really gave World of Warcraft a shot until BlizzCon 2023 and the announcement for the World Soul Saga, which, if you've been tracking my progress in World of Warcraft, that's when I got excited. That's when we formed the guild. We just finished the second Dragonflight raid this past Saturday night. We're heading into the third raid this Saturday coming up to get current with the content. We're having lots and lots of fun, and somebody's shooting off fireworks all over the place here behind me in Valdrakken. So I wanted to put together my thoughts for a review. So this is my review of World of Warcraft Dragonflight after 3 months of playing the game and over 500 hours in so far, and looking ahead towards what 2024 has to bring, and the fact that I'm going to be playing hundreds of hours more this year. Probably, I mean, the fact that I've already racked up 500 hours of game time in 3 months, I will definitely be logging thousands of hours in this game over the course of this year, heading into the War Within, and then the entirety of the World Soul Saga, because that's really what our guild was formed up around, was the idea of doing the World Soul Saga in its entirety. So let me just go ahead and switch over to this view so that we can see a little bit more of the game space, and I just want to talk about some of the things. You can't even see my character, I wasn't even paying attention to that. Here's my hunter. I love his gear. I love his his cosmetics, man. His transmog on point, I think, with the bow. I just really like this outfit. Um, I am not a sweaty player at all. If you look at my eye level, I am running 447. That's not anything glorious. We're running raids on normal mode, nothing heroic, nothing mythical. I don't even think I've ran a mythical dungeon yet. I've done some heroic dungeons, but I've just enjoyed the questing and the community stuff we've been doing, and just the Dragonflight expansion as a whole. But I've also been going back and doing some of the previous expansions via time walking campaigns through Chromie, and really enjoying that. My druid right now actually is going through Cataclysm, and I'm just loving the storyline. And I've already done Battle for Azeroth and Shadowlands, Dragonflight now, and I have played World of Warcraft Classic when it came out, and then I did the Burning Crusade and the Wrath of the Lich King. So I've played the Classic experience before I even tried retail. So coming into retail now, I have been genuinely surprised by everything. I mean, it's pretty amazing. So I was inspired to make this video after we did yesterday. I guess it wasn't yesterday. Maybe it was this morning. When did I do the video on why? Oh, it was this morning. I do a lot of stuff. I was asking the question, why do so many people hate World of Warcraft? And in that video, I made the comment that I have yet to find anything negative about this game. I've had nothing but fun and nothing but good times in this game so far, but I freely admit that I don't have the negativity that a lot of other people have about this game. So I came into this with fresh eyes and have just been exploring Dragonflight and everything around Dragonflight, and looking forward to the War Within and the World Soul Saga. I have not been looking back. I don't need to look back. And it's a beautiful place to be, because it allows me an unfiltered view of the game as it currently is. So when you're looking at, I produce a lot of guides for like the newbie experience. Like, this is what it's like to be a new player in World of Warcraft in 2023, 2024. Here's my guides for this, that, and the other, and it's all based on my perspective as a new player, a veteran MMORPG player, but a new player to World of Warcraft. So 500 plus hours in, what do I love about the game? First and foremost, let's talk about the things that are really, really cool. the addition of follower dungeons was something that I didn't know was going to be happening right away. I know that when I first got excited about World of Warcraft, it was because of the BlizzCon announcement about the World Soul Saga and the addition of delves, and the idea that you're going to be able to do this scalable content with 1 or 2, 3, 4 people, up to 5 people. So, and I had talked to my brother and my nephew, he's going to be 9 years old this summer. We've been playing Minecraft together for the last few years, talking about graduating him into an MMORPG. He started to look at World of Warcraft, and he's getting a little excited about things. And so we were looking at that going, well, this is going to be really good for us just as a family to be able to go in and play together, because we'll be able to do these delves with him. We won't have to worry about doing things with random strangers. And so that alone was already making me excited about what was coming in the pipeline. But then when I found out that they were adding follower dungeons, I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then that got added in the middle of me playing this game. That has, in my mind, has put World of Warcraft in a very unique position. Other games do this already. Star Wars: The Republic, Final Fantasy XIV already have some similar systems there, and I just think that it was a great idea on Blizzard's part to introduce that system into World of Warcraft, because it takes this 20-year-old MMORPG and makes it even more accessible to everybody. And one of the complaints I've heard from some small groups of people is like, oh, it's always the sweaty, mythical people who cause problems, and they're the toxic ones and everything else. Well, you don't have to ever group with them ever again if you don't want to in the looking for dungeon system, because now you can do follower dungeons with you and your spouse, you and your friend, you and your significant other, you and your brother, you and your sister, you and your kid, whoever. 2, 3, 4 people, you can go in and do these follower dungeons at your own pace, assuming you don't even have a guild. But then you can get into a guild and do all the fun stuff that we're doing as a guild. Nudge, nudge. If you want to come join us, we're on the Moonguard server. We're having a great time. You can watch all of our activities. I stream multiple times per week everything we do in World of Warcraft, including our raids, which happen on Saturday nights at 8 p.m. Central. Normal mode, nothing sweaty. It's just people having good fun doing things for the story. And that's the next part of what I'm really enjoying about World of Warcraft is the story. So when I first leveled this character, it was a default character. So I went through Exile's Reach, and then I went to Battle for Azeroth. And then after Battle for Azeroth, I got put into Dragonflight. And I loved the Battle for Azeroth storyline so much that I went and did it a second time, because I went through, did Kul Tiras, right? And I did, main campaign, plus I then went out and just did all of Drustvar to get the level, to get to 60, and then I went to Dragonflight and did this character. But then I came back on my warrior and I did Kul Tiras again, but instead of doing Drustvar after I finished the main campaign, I went off and did the one that's up to the north, which the name I can't remember off the top of my head. And then that got me into all of these other things, like, okay, there's the Horde side and Zandalar, and that was amazing with like the Mayan culture. So you have a juxtaposition of like pirate theme versus that theme. Great storyline. Shadowlands. Great storyline from a single player perspective, just running the storyline. I really enjoyed that. Dragonflight in particular, though, I thought the story was absolutely amazing. The fact that you can just jump on a dragon. I'm gonna get my controller turned on here. Oh, that's the other thing. So I play World of Warcraft on a controller like probably 95% of the time. I raid with a controller. If you've not seen me playing the game, I actually do raid with a controller. Let's get this over here. Let me move this window out of the way here real quick. I do raid with a controller. There's very few things that I use mouse and keyboard for, but one of the things I absolutely just love is quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload, or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi-streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand. All right, as I was saying, I play with a controller, but I had Steam running in the background, and its keybinds overwrite my World of Warcraft keybinds, so I had to shut Steam down. I absolutely love just running around with a dragon on a controller. I think that this is just so cool. Spinning's a good trick. Woo! Oh, and then you run into a pillar. But I just think that the Dragonflight alone is such a cool addition to this game. That I was happy to play it just to be able to run around and fly a dragon. But apart from that, Dragonflight has really good storylines with helping all of the various dragon tribes. And then apart from that, the Emerald Dream, and I played a night elf with this character, so it felt like it was a personal storyline for me. And I'm looking forward to bringing my druid up and eventually getting my druid through that storyline, because I'm doing Cataclysm with him, so I'm in my Hyjal and all this other stuff, and I'm seeing Ysara in a completely different light than how I see her or how I was introduced to her here, because I didn't know the storyline from Cataclysm, and there's all this stuff that came before that I'm still new to, and it's great to start to go back and see all these references, which is one of the other reasons I want to say this is part of what's making my review or helping my review to be positive, right? So I don't have any of the negativity that other people have. I haven't met any toxic people. I've been having a great time with our guild. I've been having a great time with community people. I've met some great people in the game. I've met some great people who have watched the streams and sent me tells, and we've hung out in game, and it's just been a great time. Role play events in the city, in Stormwind and beyond. There's a lot of cool stuff going on, and one of the things that really excites me, we were talking about this morning during the stream, was the fact that I have, if you think about it this way, from a content creator's perspective, I have an unlimited amount of potential in front of me with what I can create around World of Warcraft, because I not only have all of the World Soul Saga to look forward to as we continue to go through the last little bits of the Dragonflight expansion and all the patches that come between here and the War Within, but I just have, like, yeah, I'm going through Cataclysm right now, but I still haven't done that. I gotta finish that, but then I get to go do, and I already have alts created for this. I have one alt for each expansion, and I'm doing time walking campaigns for each one. So I'm doing things like we're gonna go do Vista Pandaria, and we're gonna do Warlords of Draenor, and we're gonna do Legion, and I'm gonna go see all of those from a purely storyline perspective. And I kind of look at the way, like, when I go back and do Star Wars: The Republic, and you're playing like the class missions for each individual origin story through that base game, and you get 30 hours of storyline from each one of those story missions, for each one of those class stories. It's very much the same thing for me, where I get these campaigns where I get 50 to 100 hours of story content from going and doing these zones that other people did years ago and I haven't done before. And then there's things like, oh, you want to check this out? This blows my mind. So I know some people I see on TikTok and other places, there's all these like achievements that you can go for, right? There's personal achievements, there's guild achievements, there's all the collections that you can get, there's the heirlooms that you can get, there's the toys that you can collect, there's the pets that but I haven't even gotten into this. I watched some videos on this, but I need to, like, I'm going to go through a tutorial series, and I'm going to record a whole tutorial series of me learning how to do the pet battle system. And then there's mounts and all the mounts you can collect. And I have I have what, maybe 20-ish mounts. I don't really know how many I have. I have 32, it says. So I have 32 mounts, and I don't even know how many total mounts there are that you can get in the game. It's just ridiculous, all of the mounts that you can get, and all these different things that you can find in the game. So I have like this unlimited pool of content ahead of me of things that I can do if I ever run out of things to do in Dragonflight and with my alts. And you talk about people who have 10 alts that they've leveled up over the course of 10 years. I get it. I've played EverQuest 1 for 7 years. I played EverQuest 2 for 7 years. I've played Lord of the Rings Online since it launched. I've played Star Wars: Old Republic since it launched. I have, a dozen plus characters in those games, because I've played those games for so many years. And I really feel somewhat sad that I slept on World of Warcraft for all of those years when it's this much fun. I've yet to have a negative experience in this game. It has great cinematic storytelling, it has good voice acting, it's got good writing, it's got deep stories from what I've seen, it's got quirky fun stuff. Like, how many outhouse quests can you possibly have in a game? I keep finding outhouse quests, and the poo quests where you're like picking up animal poop. It's hilarious. It's constantly, and the Easter eggs, we can run around and find like characters from Disney films and all these different Star Wars references and other references, which it feels very much like a passion project of people who just love games and love nerd culture. And I realize that people have opinions on Blizzard and corporate stuff and Activision and all this other stuff. I don't care about any of that. I am not here. I play games for enjoyment. Asmongold had a very good comment the other day during the Steak and Eggs podcast. He was talking about um, people don't care about any of the controversy around games. People just want to play good games. They just want to play. They don't care about the politics. They don't care who publishes. The people, and by people I mean the masses. I don't mean the 0.5% of angry neckbeards living in the basement who are like, I'm never gonna play a game that EA publishes because I hate microtransactions and screw what's his name, the guy who was Activision, Bobby Kotick. Like, I hate Bobby Kotick and I'm never gonna do anything, touch anything that he has. I don't buy into any of that. I play games to have fun, and I am having fun in World of Warcraft in 2024. And that's all I can ask for in a game. I love the fact that this game is accessible to everyone. My wife, who is not an MMORPG player, has tried this game and enjoyed it. Exile's Reach for her was a pleasurable experience because it taught her how to play the game, and it was localized in Spanish, her native language. How many MMORPGs do that? ESO doesn't have Spanish. It has other languages, but it doesn't have Spanish. And so she's never been able to get into other games the same way that I've been able to get into games because of the fact that I just don't take the time to do that. And this game tries to be as accessible as possible to as many people as possible, and that's not a bad thing. It's never a bad thing. Anytime I hear people grumbling that, oh, back in the day when you had to do forced grouping, it was so much better because you actually had to talk to people and you actually had to put in effort and blah, 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 blah. Get out of here. 500 years ago we sailed across the sea in wooden ships, and now we take a flight and we could be in London in 3 hours, with Wi-Fi and champagne. Like, I don't want to do things the old way. I want to do things the new way with convenience and modernity and the things that make it streamlined and accessible to as many people as possible. So I'm having a blast in World of Warcraft in 2024. I've loved Dragonflight. I think that looking ahead at what I've got on my plate, like we're already doing, like on Saturday mornings we have the Taurens where we're playing. You can catch those streams at 8 a.m. I had never played the Tauren starting area, and Bubbaloni had said, hey, you might really like this. Bulgor is really cool. And so I said, well, hey, let's go do that together. And so we got some guild members together with Maduros and Liart and Kel and Bubbaloni, and we're going through on Saturday mornings and seeing something that I've never seen before. And then we're going to turn around and do something else once we finish that project up, and we'll probably go explore another, because I haven't seen the Pandaria starting areas, and I haven't done the Worgen starting area and all these other things. So I just think that for me, I see an unlimited amount of game ahead of me that I can create content around and have fun playing. And apart from that, I just am having great fun. This is the first time since probably 2005, 2006 for EverQuest 2. This is the first time I have paid for a 12-month subscription in advance. Like, as soon as I hit January, I went ahead and ponied up and did 12 months. I was like, if I could have paid for 3 years in advance, I totally would have paid for 3 years in advance, because that's the entirety of the World Soul Saga, and I'm looking at that going, I'm absolutely on board for all of that. I would argue probably the next 4 years of my channel, you're going to be seeing a lot of World of Warcraft. Right now, we're doing good things with the guild, and fingers crossed that keeps going well. Got a really good core of people, but even if I weren't, when I originally made the announcement that I was going to play World of Warcraft, I didn't anticipate forming up a guild and doing another guild. I kind of said my days of running guilds and being a raid leader are behind me. I just want to play games and have fun. I'm a streamer these days. I'm a content creator. I don't have time for people management and stuff, but I've got a good core of people who are helping me manage the guild, which has allowed us to flourish in new and different ways. But I was already planning on playing this game, even if it was just a single player, coming into it as a single player RPG, and then just doing the group content optional, like I do with Lord of the Rings Online and Star Wars: Old Republic. So the fact that I've been able to also, come in here with a guild and do really fun things with a group of people who are like-minded in that aspect has been great. And the fact that everyone's really here for the World Soul Saga makes it even better. So I love World of Warcraft. I realize I'm new to it, 3 hours in, 500 hours in, having a great time. Can't wait for more. Love to hear your thoughts. Drop them down below. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so that you can get more. If you're not having fun, that's okay, but I am, so if you want to join us, we're on the Moonguard server. We play pretty much every single night of the week, but raids are on Saturday nights at 8 p.m. Central. We just do normal mode, nothing sweaty. You want to check out all the other content that gets produced here, don't forget we are live every day on YouTube and Twitch. There's also a TikTok account. There's a Discord channel. You can reach out, get in touch with us if you want to join the guild and hang out, all the things you want to do. My wife and I have a homesteading channel. Check that out. And if you want to get a copy of my latest fantasy novel, links are down below. I'll see everybody in the next one. Stay safe. Happy gaming for the Alliance.